So those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stages of human-centered design. How do I even build a product, and how do I even get to the point? So that's why an experienced entrepreneur, if you say to them, you know what, I have this idea of doing cakes, but all I need is a commercial kitchen and a storefront. Any experienced entrepreneur ain't gonna take you seriously, because they're gonna ask you, okay, so what's the size of your market? You know what? Everybody in Noboshava loves cakes. I'm sorry, but you actually sound really silly. Guess what? Because any experienced entrepreneur will know that it's not worth giving you 50 cents if you have no market and if you have no proof of concept. If you are able to say to an entrepreneur, you know what? Imagine the difference if you said, I'm looking for $200 so that I can rent a commercial kitchen. Every Saturday, Sunday, and Sunday, I'm pushing 500 cakes and making them in my mother's kitchen. In her kitchen, I can only bake 12 cakes at a time. But if I'm able to rent the space and bake 100 cakes at a time, I promise you that literally in 8 months, you'll get your money back. That's when it's convincing. Because as an entrepreneur, you have proven to me that there are people who are yearning for your product and that I will see my money back and that this is a viable business. It is a business that works. Okay. If you have any questions on design thinking, please type them in the chat box and we will get to them at the end of the session. So at this point, what we're going to do is I'm going to begin building a business in, okay, Zimunda's already taken. I think that's from Coming to America. But we're going to make up a business just so that you guys get a feel of some of the concepts that we have learned today. So at this point, I would like to invite Tashinga. Oh, I thought the message came to my phone. Okay, Pastor Mnash, now I have to scroll. Tashinga, Shingai, I think it was Yvonne, and who was the last person?
Mirirai.
Mirirai. I would like to invite you to please unmute your mics. Okay, so we're gonna need everyone's participation through the chat box, but however many of us, okay, we're 4 or 5. You guys are kind of like my co-founders today. So what's gonna happen is we go through this, you guys are gonna be learning different concepts. So just write them on a piece of paper, okay? So that next week or even, tomorrow, I mean, whenever, you will be able to ask the questions, etc. Okay? So when you're starting a business, one thing that you really want to do is make sure that you have the skills on board that you need. Okay? So you guys remember, this is a fake business, so feel free to have fake characters as well. So my expertise in today's business is I am a product designer and a product builder. And I'm a finance person. And, I've come up with this idea. I need you guys to join me. So I'm looking for someone who has experience in marketing. I'm looking for someone who has experience in selling and pushing product. And I need, two specialists. So decide amongst you, who's the marketing person?
I can be the marketing person.
Okay, there was 2 people.
Okay.
Was that Yvonne or Mirirai?
That was probably
Yvonne. Okay, so I think Tashinga, let's say Yvonne be the marketing person. Do you want to be one of the specialists?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so we need to solve a problem. So let's pick a problem that we want to solve. I'm happy to go with any industry, any problem. Does anyone have anything that's coming at the top of their head?
Water.
Water. Okay, so serious water problem already. So let's go through our steps. Let me share the screen again so that we don't forget. So Tashinga, you can be a specialist in a geography. And then we've still got Shingai and Mirai. Is it Shingai? Shingai,
Yes.
what's
Yes, ma'am.
your, you can pick a role I haven't even mentioned, but what's your role?
Finance.
Okay, excellent. Got another numbers person. Okay, so the water problem, let's now start empathizing. So in the empathizing stage, usually, this is now side note to audience, in empathizing, you need to actually go and visit the people who are facing the water problem. But I think amongst us, let's discuss what we've seen in our own daily lives that's a water problem. Okay, so is this which geography are we solving this for? Is this for Harare? Is it for the whole of Zimbabwe? Is it for, like, who are we solving it for?
So we can start with Harare.
Okay, let's start with Harare. So what are some of the problems with water in Harare? First of all, I think obviously I don't know how to articulate this, but the pipes don't deliver water to people's homes. People have to buy water. Okay, so buying water is something I've observed. What have been some of your observations?
Long lines at the boreholes, which is quite risky, especially because we're having the coronavirus around and more people are like standing around and doing nothing there. And it's risky for their health.
That's true.
We have many unserviced pipes, so they are letting water run loose, which is causing expenses and could have been saved.
So the leakage causes other expenses?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Times when we get the water, it's so unsafe because it's not clean.
So the water is not sanitized well? Even the water we're buying?
No, the water we're buying is okay, but the water that comes from the city council is not.
And sometimes the water that we buy is a bit expensive for everyone to afford it.
So it's inaccessible to some people.
Yes.
Okay, so I've written down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6, 7, 8 challenges already. Okay, so let's start discussing who we want to solve this problem for, because we can't solve the problem for everyone. So as a side note, for our cake example, a diabetic's not going to buy your cake. So please don't be offended if a diabetic for some reason tells you your cake is nasty. Okay, so now back to us. Who do we want to solve this problem for? So we've already said Harare, right? But which segment of the population? Do we want to focus on a particular town? Do we want to focus on a particular demographic?